Hello, hello, and happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Titan Talk. I'm Isaiah, Kilgoon is with me, and Ponpon is with me. Fixing the mic really quick.
Trying to make sure it's kind of like falling.
Yeah, it's all good. We can hear you, so we're good.
Fine.
We're good. Yeah, but we are here chilling on another episode of Titan Talk. We've got a pretty exciting show today. We are in game for Giannis as well as all the other Open Beta 16 content that is hitting the battleground next week. I saw the list from you earlier, Kilgoon. Lots of cool stuff. But before we get into it, how y'all doing?
Yeah, doing marginally well.
Yeah.
Dude, my kid is just not sleeping. But other than that, life's been really good. So, having a good day.
Nice. How about you, Pon?
Doing pretty good. Things have been pretty good overall.
Awesome. Well, shall we get right into Open Beta 16? I know we have a lot of stuff to cover today, but we're going to kick things off with Giannis, and I can go ahead and bring up the handy-dandy desktop, and we can start going through all of the kit and everything. Ponpon, talk to me about Giannis and Smite 2. Oh, let me make sure
So we can get a few things out of the way. He is a pure intelligence scaler.
Which kind of makes sense. Like,
makes sense,
does he do anything physical at all? Like,
Yeah.
What would strength even do? Like,
We actually
he throws his balls harder.
Yeah. We did try and look at a few different ways to give him hybrid scaling, but it just felt like he is such a typical like ability mage. It just felt good to make him pure intelligence. We have looked at some +1s. We did look at giving him more aggressive +1s, but every single time we tried, we ran into issues with like his flow just kind of broke down and didn't work as well. Like one example of a thing we tried to do is like make it so that his standard ability combo is you one someone, you put a 3 underneath them, and then you 2 them so that you land all that stuff at once. We were like, well, what happens if we like make it so that you can do them in a different combo order, and like the flow just kind of broke down. So we focused mostly on ways to make his current existing kit have a lot of quality of life improvements, and also just some plus fun things that felt restrictive from before.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. And I guess the place to start is the passive. So let's talk about passages. Whenever you pass through a portal or a threshold, your next ability deals bonus magical damage
equal to 20% of your intelligence.
I don't have any items
you have
none. So the +1 here is that this actually stacks to 2 times, and so this will actually mean that you consume them in the order that you deal damage.
Nice,
It's not like your 2 will take 2 of them to deal 40%. It's your abilities that follow up will each take 1 to do that bonus damage.
Right.
We just felt this was useful for the times where like Giannis, especially like traveling to a fight. He'll be able to enter that fight with 2 stacks of them and have a more immediate upfront pressure. When he ults across the battlefield, he'll have more immediate upfront pressure. It just gives like a nice +1 to his flow, gives him some more damage. And we can probably talk a little bit about his ult just ahead of time, which is his ult previously had this passive penetration on it, and I know we've had a lot of discussion about penetration as a whole. We removed that, put it somewhere else, and then adjusted his kit around to have just generally some more scaling to make up for the fact that that passive penetration's gone. So you should just notice that you generally deal a bit more damage up front,
right?
And obviously passages stacking up to twice contributes to that.
And he's been swinging in our playtest.
Oh yeah.
Not today when I played him because I'm a very bad Giannis, but normally he's been swinging in our playtest.
Yeah, if you can land the combo, he chunks.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's.
I had a weird bug today because I was playing with weird settings, but that will be fixed before it actually goes live.
Yeah.
So.
Sweet. All right. Portal is up next. The 1. So you open a portal on a surface. Of course, portals on the wall you can pass through. Portals on the ground banish you and enemies upwards, dealing damage on landing.
Yep, this ability works exactly as you expect it to. The VFX are super gorgeous. Shout out to Arthur who did
these look
work.
great.
Arthur just kills it repeatedly.
Yeah. Giannis' VFX coded, like it was so cool to see like every single piece of it. We still have a few small things working on like camera stuff, but other than that, like this is the portal you know and love. You can see that we also like there's just a lot of things about him that we had to like get right in bringing him over. Like the fact that the targeter has to show like its end location and there's a tether between them and they have to render behind the walls appropriately.
Right,
so like getting all that feedback right was like a pretty hard work for him. But yeah, it's the portal you know and love.
I just love like the basiness of all of his abilities.
It's so sick.
Right. It's just like satisfying.
We also haven't talked about how shiny he is now. Like look
I
how
know,
shiny
right?
he
Look
is.
at all the he's glistening.
Yeah, and that's kind of a general art thing that we're working on. In general, we feel like our metallic materials are not shiny enough in like just they should be. So that's something that we are working on in general. It does require individually touching each character, so not every character is going to have shiny metal immediately, but that's something we're working on.
Sweet. All right, the 2 is up next. Unstable Vortex. You launch 2 linked portals, dealing damage to enemies in their path. Hitting an enemy with both portals, of course, deals the bonus magical damage.
Yep. Again, pretty straightforward ability. It's the one you know and love. We tried adjusting a few things about it, and it generally just didn't feel like it was that great, so we just kept it as is. The one thing I know some people have wanted was the removal of the tether in between, and
we talked about it.
We've talked about it. One is we just kind of learned that like over time, like these are +1s people have grown to like and accept, and this is part of the Giannis character. Removing them ends up just making some people like upset that like a piece of their character that they've known is now gone.
Yeah.
Plus, we think that there's still plenty of like this is still a very unique shape. The fact that like you can dead zone onto the left or right of it, where like it kind of wiggles in, but that's like your sweet spot for damage. Like,
of course, I
that
will.
was me in playtest today mostly.
Like that's an area where you can still dodge. We didn't think removing a component would feel super compelling for him, so we kept it there.
Nice. And of course, as Kilgun mentioned, all the audio sound effects and the visual effects just look super sick.
Yeah, the two also is like using our spine tech, which means we also got like super nice particle ribbons and everything. It just looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. All right, Threshold is up next. The 3. So, of course, you unleash a rift on the ground. If you pass through it, you get some movement speed for you and your allies. But, of course, if an enemy passes through it, they are slowed.
Yes, and the +1 for this is if they are, so they're considered phased when they're slowed. That was like the key word that was there. So I leveraged that keyword, and what phase means for this is that you as Giannis will deal damage as if they have 25% less magical protections on them.
Awesome.
So this is a way to get your actual magical protection shred rather than it just being passive on your ultimate. It's now more active, and the number's actually stronger than usually.
You can see Ymir has that little visual effects on him touching the portal to indicate that he is phased and will take some bonus magical damage as well.
Yep, and so the damage there is like if you just 2 them now, like that's like 268, and you 3 them 2, that's gonna be like 290 something.
Yep.
Yeah. So like that's the ignoring like a base amount of 25% magical protections.
Nice. All right, and then last but not least, iconic ultimate from Smite 1.
Dude,
so many hype plays from Smite's history with this ability.
You almost stole the Gold Fury today. It was
Yeah.
like, it
I was really close. And then you killed me.
close.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's fine.
But we are, of course, talking about Through Space and Time. So this is your tried and true global ultimate. If you're sniping people from super far away, you're dealing extra damage.
Yes, and this actually is where most of the +1s are actually situated. So one +1 for this ability is that the maximum damage it could deal was limited to 75% of someone's health. We think if you can snipe someone that far away, let's let it snipe.
Right.
Towards the end of the game today, the tooltip on my ult said that it would deal 1,800 damage at max range.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's the combined if you actually get the max scaling, which is pretty hard. It's a pretty high distance. That one we think is just cool. It is helped by one other +1, which is the ultimate will no longer, it has like a max range, like at 80 meters, it will stop creating portals. We just remove that. If it's still in the map, it'll still create portals the full distance that it travels.
And you're probably not going to be fast enough to run all that way yourself, but maybe you can help an ally on the other side of the map. With
or your whole team gets a Stampede plus Reaver
just a
Striders
drop
and
ship,
threshold, and you just do all the things. Like maybe. But we just thought like if the projectile's traveling, you create the portals, which means also enemies will see that portal appear to them right before the ult happens. Without that tell, it can sometimes actually be really, you just get hit by it without even realizing.
You're like, what did I just get hit by?
Yeah, but the portals appearing does make it more useful. We do need to also get it to show on the map. That's just a bug right now.
Yeah.
As someone noticed in chat. And then, so it lost the damage cap. It can travel its full distance. And we thought there was like one other kind of cool synergy that he could have as the God of Portals, which was he self-banishes, but you can CC immunity to get rid of the banish. Why not let his ultimate just let him out of it? Like he can just exit it immediately. So if you banish yourself and want to get out of it, or you banish yourself because like an assassin jumped on you and you want to try and like wombo them right as you land, bam, you just get to do it.
Cool.
We have a camera glitch there that obviously makes it less smooth than it should be, but we're also working on ironing that out. So we felt that was like that just lets him have more control as the God of Portals about his own portal banishment.
I'm gonna back and see if I can get a max range, you know?
Why
not?
In Smite 1, this was also kind of like the god of like skill diff. Like it was like a very low win rate god in the hands of most players, but the top percentage of players can really like show off on it. So if you're the kind of player, you're new to Smite, you've never seen this character before, this is like a relatively high skill cap. You can do amazing things with this character if you can figure out all the details. If not, he won't look as impressive.
Yeah, you have to feel really comfortable about like your positioning and how quickly you can portal out of situations, and confirming like your full damage combo does rely on hitting the first ability, which has pre-fire time, and you have to actually aim it under people, so like it can be quite difficult. And staying in position and losing out on your escape by having to use it aggressively, like he's a character we have to make a lot of trade-offs, and we think that's fun about him.
Yep. And you do get multiple portals still, where you can have both your 1 portal and your 4 portal open, so you can go one way and then come back.
Yeah, and it looks like we also have a visual bug, which we need to go squash, which is the 1 portal and the ult portal are. It looks like they're the same, which they should have different treatment. We had different visual effects, as you can tell. It's the day we're getting ready for his release. There's going to be some visual bugs, but we're going to make sure those are ironed out. Like, I think also the portals are staying there longer than they should. So there's just a list of things that we can really tackle before he's fully polished.
Sweet. Well, I think that is it for Giannis. Pon, I don't know if we want to spoil anything, but we were talking before the show. His aspect is in progress, but not going to be in this update, correct?
Yeah, so we have a cool idea. I'll spoil it with the caveat of like
it may not happen.
It may not happen. So because it's a difficult concept, and it, especially with all the healing pass stuff we did, it ended up taking a lot of time to actually get that done, and this one is gonna be difficult. So just know that when we get it actually into playtest and see how it feels, we may end up cutting it. But we had an idea to make him a much more supporty character, and the 2 ideas that did that were giving him a new shape for his 2, because it's a spline, we can just kind of give it any shape, and making it so that the sweet spot hits did some more CC. Yeah. And then the part that probably is cooler is that we had ways of essentially manipulating the end portal location for your portals. So like right now, that 1 creates like a portal there on the wall, and then there's a far one. What if your 3 placed the far one directly where your 3 was? Ooh. And you could do things like put your 3 at a tower and put your 1 on someone and warp them there.
Oh, that's sick.
So the idea was to make those portals more linked and allowing you to kind of mess around with their placement and locations. Obviously, like the example I gave might be a reason why we don't end up shipping it, but that was the idea we were going down. We wanted to make sure we gave that one a full shot, but that one takes quite a lot of effort and time and investment on our part. So
yeah, so hopefully you can all understand after hearing that why we don't have an aspect for it today. It was in progress, but not quite.
Need a little bit more time to cook, you know.
Yeah, so we'll see when we get there, and then if that ends up not working out, we'll get something else. But I felt it was worth being transparent about like why he doesn't have an aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing just like to keep in mind as you're playing Giannis, if you've never seen it before, right, is that like your portal, the one right there, it goes 2 ways, right? So you can either do it on a wall or you can do it on the floor. If you do it on the wall, it's just for you or your teammates to go through, so it lets you escape. If you do it on the floor, both enemies and yourself can go through, but your teammates can't. So you can use it to like avoid something by going down through it, or you can catch an enemy with it, but your teammates won't fall through the portal in his base kit. So.
Yeah, and then someone mentioned the portal should show on the map. Yeah, they should. It's just that's something we just need to get in.
Still a couple things work in progress, but we are planning to get this out in PTS later on today. So you'll have an opportunity to play Giannis a little bit early, albeit with some of the missing VFX and stuff missing. But of course, we're going to work to get all that stuff out to you all.
That's a very interesting question from Vafi. The characters in Smite 1 had slightly different base attack ranges by like a few units. Generally, we've tried to standardize that so that they're basically the same across the board. They still have their offsets, but they do adjustments otherwise to make sure that the ranges are about the same.
Sweet. Well, I believe that is everything for Giannis's kit reveal. Kilgoon, while we're in game, I know we have things that we wanted to show off and talk about from your list.
Let's just go straight to
Ascension Pass first?
Ascension Pass first.
All right, let's do that.
On a different character.
All right, well, let me bring us back to cams really quick, and I will pull up the Ascension Pass.
Does Giannis passive work with base or side teleport? That'd be actually funny.
That is kind of funny. I like that.
Yeah, I can.
Funny.
That one actually.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah.
That one's actually really easy to implement because I just sent a callback to this passive. So yeah, I'll try that. That's a fun idea.
Awesome. All right.
We actually debated letting him like have a lower cooldown on the Conquest one.
Clumsy in chat's like, wait, yeah, that's smart,
right? Yeah.
We did talk about him having a lower cooldown on the Conquest.
How did we not
portal,
think of that? Yeah.
But then we're like, it doesn't have an impact on other modes. That was like our only concern there. But letting it interact with passive seems fine.
Yeah. All right. So Ascension Pass for Giannis, his shadow skin, of course, is the first reward if you buy in. Looking cool. The tracker for the buy-in reward is max portal shot, the highest distance a portal has traveled before hitting an enemy god.
That's cool.
That's a cool one.
I guess there is a theoretical maximum to that for the largest map.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we've got your emote. You've got I love Janus's emote animations. They're so sick.
Yeah.
You've got your objective destroy tracker, your goddesses tracker. The second premium tracker is thinking with portals. The distance Janus has traveled through his own portals.
Yeah.
So
Just how much distance you end up covering. You're able to move around the map.
especially if you've got a lot of
fast.
cooldown rate,
Yeah.
you're zooming. And then of course we've got the black and gold onyx skin in the Ascension Pass.
Classic.
The metal materials
Yeah.
look so good.
Like I said, this is part of an art pass overall to make metals look better in the game because they just looked dull and boring, and metal should be shiny. So,
Yeah, and the shininess here I think is good. I know that we're working on the lobby lighting a
Yeah.
little bit, and I think this might not have like its like full like the darks here might be too dark. Is mostly what I'm getting at.
All right, we've got Opal up next.
Yep.
I love the Opal
that's
skins.
pretty.
Oh yeah, this one looks sick.
Lot of
This is gonna
detail.
be the one I use for sure. The global emote is reverse portal. That is just so
Hell yeah.
good.
That's great.
Shout outs to the team for cooking with all these global emotes for the Ascension Pass.
this one was a Ben special. so-
Shout outs to Ben. This one is so good. Then we've got his wave emote. You've got your portal lover title. That's a
Okay.
good title. Your God Kills tracker, your mastery badge, and then of course, Radiant Giannis.
Yeah, I used this one today. I thought it looked
Yeah,
really
that's
good in
great.
game. It's just so shiny.
Yeah, this one looks great. And then the card effects are done. We've got dropping minions.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, shout out to Quinn. Quinn did this.
Is it gonna do it again?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
That's great.
Yeah. I think this is like maybe the first or second card art or card effects that Quinn has done.
Oh, nice.
And I just think they turned out great. So shout out Quinn.
Yeah, these look awesome. And that is your Giannis Ascension Pass, all the content in there. So if you're playing a lot of Giannis, whenever the patch goes live next week, you're going to be zooming through and getting all those rewards, and it's going to be really awesome.
I'm just ready for you to like snipe Steel Fire Giant,
Yeah.
drop the back away emote,
Yep.
and then like portal out of the
Exactly.
There,
You're
they
like, I'm
can't
out,
chase and
peace.
kill you.
This is a great point to transition into one of the other new things
Let's talk
that's
about
coming
it.
in this update. Ascension passes are great,
Yes.
but they're kind of annoying to have to unlock.
Mm-hmm.
And we want people to be able to enjoy Ascension passes more. So starting with this update, if you have the Ultimate Founders Edition, you just have all Ascension passes forever. You'll be unlocking
Nice.
all Ascension passes with the Ultimate Founders Edition. So if you want to upgrade to the Ultimate Founders Edition, you will have all Ascension passes. You will get refunded, I believe, in Legacy Gems for any extra Ascension passes you may have bought. Obviously, you'll still get diamonds for leveling up the Ascension passes. You'll probably get some free diamonds just
By playing,
we're always thinking how we can be. We have to make money, like we're a business, but we're trying to think how we can be more fair and share more of the fun of the game with you guys at every opportunity that we have, right? And so we think that this is a really cool opportunity for everybody to just have access to more Ascension passes. So if you're thinking about upgrading, feel free to do that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It makes us
Get that Ultimate Founders Edition, everyone. Get all your Ascension passes forever.
Yeah, that is the $100 edition, and you also, you get the tier 5 Zeus. You get there's like a special title and badge in there, and and whatnot. So, should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys are excited about that and
It's dope.
want to buy it. So. That's a big win that's in this patch. There's actually a surprising amount of work to get. Blake has been like grinding, getting all of the like scripts set up to actually properly upgrade people and refund and unlock and all this stuff. So
Shout out to Blake. He's been putting in a ton of work.
yes. So shout out to Blake. Okay. That's one. Do you want to go to in-game stuff or do you want to do the skins first?
Up to y'all.
Flip a coin. Dun, 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 dun. Chat, what do you want to see first? Let's see if we can get a quick chat spin. Let's see.
First thing I see
First
is
thing I
skins.
see is skins. So let's do
Skins,
skins.
skins,
People are
skins.
saying
Okay.
skins.
Skins are
Cool.
winning.
Sweet. All right, let me go to the screen here. So we've got a couple new travelers in this update.
Yep.
One is for a fan favorite skin. We've talked about it a lot on the show before, but it is for G.E.B. G.E.B. And he's looking so clean.
Yeah, this is great. What a good classic skin.
And even like the metal materials, it's like a perfect showcase for this.
Again, the metal materials that we're just working on improving. Like I think you can see the level of detail that we're able to get into these skins now with this new approach to materials. Obviously, awesome. Awesome skin, has one of the best sound effects in the game.
Yes.
Which is the VEW. If you are not familiar,
I see the beep, boop, boop.
That was my text alert notification for years.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Back when you had audible text alert notifications, because I've been playing Smite for a long time. But yeah, the skin looks great. And as a traveler, it comes with 3 pretty sweet prisms.
These prisms are so sick. I was looking at them earlier today. The first one, Stealth Strike, just the matte blacked out going in stealth mode.
Yeah
like
sick.
This one is so clean. I'm definitely going to be rocking this.
This
one.
is my least favorite of the 3.
Do they have different tattoos?
I was
they
going to
do.
say.
Yeah, so
shout out to the
like,
art team. So of course this is G.E.B. 1, but this is G.E.B. 2.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, the art team is having so much fun with these prisms, really making them special and unique, like on their own. And like, obviously, not every prism is going to. Yeah, they do like what they think is appropriate artistically for the prism, right? But I think that like just these little extra, it's like a fighter jet has different different stencils on it. It's kind of like that.
All right, the next one is speaking of fighter jets, combat camo.
Yeah, I like this one. I think this is cool. It's just like it kind of vaguely reminds me of some of like the early like Tau paint schemes. Which I know isn't what they were going for, but it kind of vaguely reminds me of that, and I just think it looks sweet.
Yeah, and then of course
the last one's the best.
My favorite.
This is the best.
It's the best one. Ultra Core. My man G.E.B. looking like an RX-78-2 out here.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And again, G.E.B. 4, right? We got the extra tattoo or whatever stencil on there.
Yeah, like what do you actually call those?
I don't know, dude.
They gotta have like a term.
They probably do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is one of my many areas of inexpertise, so I don't have the exact word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this one is so sick. I'm
Decals,
definitely using it. Decals.
Decals probably a good word. Yeah.
That's probably it.
Probably it. There's also some other stuff in here. What are the other cosmetics?
We have got the G.E.B. Squadron 1 ward skin.
That's cool. Repurposing the jets, make a little ward skin out of it.
And then we have got the Mecha Step jump stamp.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of neat. Now, one thing that you notice here, this is another thing that is new in this update. We talked previously about how we feel like the coin economy has basically made it really hard to keep up with unlocking stuff that you are paying money to get. And that's not our goal. Our goal is that like there's some kind of a combination of like you play the game and you buy the thing, but we don't want you to get in the point where it's like you buy the thing and then it's like I can't get anything from this and that sucks, right? So at the bottom there, you see it says +5 levels of double coin rewards. Now all classic travelers are going to come with 5 levels of double coins. So instead of getting 200 coins, you'll get 400 coins.
Yes.
This is retroactive. So for any past classic travelers that you got, when you log in for OB16, you will have that many levels of double coins that you can play through. I said classic travelers are 5 levels of double coins. Premium travelers are 10 levels of double coins. And sagas are 20 levels of double coins.
Oh,
wow.
So, so you'll get, because they have just a lot of stuff to unlock in them, we want to make sure that you're like able to earn coins at a decent enough rate to get stuff. And you feel like you can keep working through things at a decent rate. We're curious to see how this actually affects the economy and how it goes, but this is something we're going to be rolling out in the next update. Yeah. So you'll be able to get bonus coins for a certain number of levels after every purchase, and if you've already purchased stuff, you'll get those on your account.
That's it.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
There is still a cap on the Wandering Market coins, but if you're at cap, you just aren't going to use the boosted levels until you're uncapped and can earn progress.
That makes sense.
Basically, like you just don't make progress on levels while you're at cap, and then as soon as you go below cap, then you'll earn at the boosted rate again.
Cool. Sweet, sounds good. Well, let me bring us back to cams really quick, and I will.
Oh, and very important thing, classic skin means this will be available for legacy gems.
Yes.
Once the traveler is done, so in like 6 or 8 weeks, you'll be able to buy it for legacy gems. It's just initially part of this collection, and you'll you can get it for free if you have money that you spent in Smite 1 that was carried over in just a few weeks.
Nice. Well, let's talk about the second Traveler coming out in this update.
I saw Blake was in chat.
Yeah.
Chat was asking what the cap of market coins is. A lot of people have never hit the cap, but it's like, I want to say it's like 25,000.
I was going to say
that.
in the 20,000s, I think is the cap. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, though.
Yeah. So, So there is, it's a pretty high cap. It should be like, I think we said it as like enough to buy through like 2 entire collections. So it really only affects like players who are playing just an absolute ton.
Yeah.
But it is 21,000 or so, or 20,000. I don't know. In that ballpark, 20,000 is what chat's saying.
Nice.
So, so it should be, a lot of people are not going to hit it ever because they'll spend it on stuff. Some people are sitting at it. But it's enough to buy through anything you buy. So we just don't want people to accumulate infinite coins.
Yes.
And then if we ever transition to another system and we're like, oh, we got to compensate, we got to transition that to something else. It's like, it ends up with more trouble.
Yeah. All right. So our next Traveler coming out in Open Beta 16 is a little bit more soft, cute, and cuddly. We've got Plushie Ganesha coming in a Traveler next update.
The definition on those
like
knits,
the yarn, like, gosh.
Looks so good. I love the plushie skins. This is one of Ganesha's best skins. Ganesha has a lot of good skins, let's be real. One of his best skins. And for this one, we did something a little different. We made a couple prisms, and we were like, man, we're kind of like halfway to a rainbow.
Right.
What if we just made an entire rainbow plushie Ganesh? And so the art team just went wild with it. Yeah. And we have a complete full rainbow, a full Roy G.E.B.
The prisms are like in the rainbow.
Yeah.
Roy G.E.B. It starts with red, of course.
Yeah.
And you got your orange and then yellow.
It's really the second you went through them, I immediately went, oh yeah, red, because red Yoshi.
Yeah.
Red Yoshi, that's the one I'm going to go with.
And then indigo. I like the indigo.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then violet to cap things off.
I might like green the best, but I don't know. They're all
green
pretty
is
good.
a good one, yeah.
I think they're sick. I think it's just a really neat idea of let's do a full rainbow of them. You obviously don't have to get them all. If there's some colors you like,
choose your favorite colors.
Right? But even more like value in this Traveler because there's so many different colors. If that's the way you want to go.
Yeah. And then speaking of rainbow, you get the Rainbow Warrior title.
Yeah.
As a part of this Traveler.
If you're an old Hawaii fan, maybe you're a fan of that.
Nice. And then a global emote. The more you know. It's so good.
That's awesome. And there's actually an extra thing tied to this this Traveler as well. There is an event this patch.
Let's see. I might be able to bring up the event screen.
Yeah, the screen was working earlier today. So it's, we just like to do these free events every once in a while because they're fun. And basically, if you play some games and do some specific things, you'll get some free badges. You get the Plushie Sobek badge for getting 20 assists on enemy gods. You'll get a roll of the cutesy avatar chest for using a non-default skin 3 times in matches. You will get I don't even remember what the name of that Emir one is, but it's the cuddly Emir.
Yeah, I forget the name. Gosh.
If you stun or freeze a god 30 times, and then if you do all 3, then you'll get the rainbow of Ganesha badges. So just a fun little thing.
So lots of plushie stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah.
To go alongside the Plushie Traveler in Open Beta 16 as well.
Okay, so we talked about bonus coin levels. We talked about that. Is there anything else out of game, or should we just hop in? I think we should probably just hop in.
Sweet. Do I need to hit a Q, or can I just go and practice?
You can just go and practice.
Cool. I'm picking my man Giannis.
Don't pick Giannis. Pick somebody else.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Sorry.
He's
He's okay, but
pick
somebody else.
What? I want to play Giannis. Oh, man, that's funny. Let's see here. I need to leave my custom lobby, and now I can go in game. Let's do.
He does actually have all the things.
He does. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of the words, so I was just like, I was like, I would rather shut off somebody else.
Yeah, he's really weird. I think Helix is the one I sat.
No, I actually didn't think that was. There was a different one. But anyway, we'll talk after. It's not a big deal. Okay, so same as always. This is on her. Can you go into the settings and turn on the new I don't even remember where it's located.
I believe it might be in either accessibility, assists,
no,
visuals, or it might be under gameplay. Let's see.
Maybe UI?
Maybe UI.
Might be UI.
You must have turned it off because it was there. It is.
I did.
Show
yes.
short ability descriptor. Okay.
Cool.
So by default, this will be on when you boot up after the patch, and this will be on for new players. So as you note now on your ability icons, there is a single word that gives you an idea of what this ability does.
Yes.
This does update for aspects or for when you use like multi-stage abilities. If you've played this game a million hours, this is useless to you. But if you're playing a character for the first time and you don't want to read long-ass descriptions, you can just know, okay, I've got an ability that zones, I got an ability that pushes, I got a leap, and I got something that does damage.
Yeah.
Cool. Really quick idea of what a kit does. Then, if you want to take that to the next level, hide cans for a second. Sorry.
The next level.
Wrong button. Sorry. Dun, 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 dun.
You know, you get to the point where you want to learn a little bit more. Push control to see what your skills do. We've added a super short description of what each ability does after the ability.
Yeah.
If one word is not enough, 4 words, 3 words might suffice.
Yeah, so just a little bit more, like, really quick, what does this thing do?
Yeah, I see Impale is knockback to stun.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Cool.
Yeah.
Enfeeble is my attacks weaken enemies. Cool, I got it, right? Like, Desert Fury is throw mini spheres. Like, some of them are kind of silly, but that's what it does.
Yes.
Right? Like, and some of them, like, we try to be as, like, descriptive as we can with it of, like, what the thing does, and not super flavorful, right? This isn't like a what's special. It's just like, if I push this button, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
Kind of thing, right? And I think that even if you are like a seasoned player, if you're playing a character that you haven't played in a while, this could be helpful just as a quick like reminder. What do these things do again?
Yeah.
So that's that part. Next, let's go look at some items.
Cool.
And just buy. Go click on not a starter.
Okay,
for
cool.
first. Okay, let's go to any item. Doesn't matter. And buy your tier 1. And you'll note we have pips under the items. So there is 1 pip because it is tier 1 items. If you click on a tier 2
And buy it.
Yeah, it's a tier 2 item. And if you click on tier 3, 3 pips and it's gold. So this is something that Smite 1 did, which is very helpful, we believe, to communicate like when I am done with an item and what stage my items are in. Our starters will also do this where they have a 2-pip presentation, which is something that we never had for Smite 1, by the way, where it's like if you buy that,
It's in the
it's in the very bottom.
It's in the bottom left. And then if you buy the upgraded part, then it shows the 2 pips. Make a note that it's not showing that in the item store. So that is another piece of understanding like, oh, I'm building my way through items. I have completed items versus not complete items. So that's another improvement. Next, can you spawn a God bot for me?
Yes.
And then kill it.
Oh, that's easy.
Throw many spears.
Your middle tower is under attack.
All right, you ready for it?
Ready? Oh, it didn't work.
Oh,
Bots are
maybe it's a jungle
Bots.
practice.
It could be a bots thing, or it could be a jungle
It could be a
practice
jungle
thing.
practice or bots
Jungle
thing.
practice or
The
bots.
big reveal, health bar stay.
Well,
Yeah.
that's bad. Let's go. Can we maybe boot up a different thing to see this?
Yeah, 1 second.
Maybe we could actually load into a Quickplay Joust.
Yes.
And we can kill a couple features at once. Sorry. Basically, what's going to happen? Apparently, we should have tested this in jungle practice, apparently, with bots beforehand. But when you get a kill, there is now kind of a explosion dissolve effect to the health bars. So it's another piece of feedback to have a, this person has been killed, and it gives you just a little bit more feedback that you have completed this kill.
Yeah. I think internally we've also given some feedback about the color of that one, so people might see that, but it's things we're showing are work in progress.
Yeah. So, but I think that it looks good, and we will show it in a little bit once we get into the joust.
I'm loading in.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Because there's something we have to show once you get enough gold to buy your second item in Quickplay as well.
Yes. So. All right, 5 seconds. I've locked in raw.
Raw.
Waiting for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good choice. Yeah, I watched on her throw more than one spear. Yes, he threw many spears. We can look at what Ra's descriptions are too, just to give you an idea of like another character.
Yeah.
Some of them are easier than others, I will say. It's very difficult to summarize some of these abilities into just a handful of words.
And there's some people asking if we've talked about Giannis. We have. So
Yes.
that was at the start of the show.
So obviously, damage, slow, heal, snipe, very obvious. And then his passive, usability, move faster, cool. Line damage, area slow, conditional blind. Area heal, buff damage, and
long range damage beam.
Yeah.
Super straightforward.
Now this is Quickplay Joust. So Quickplay Joust is actually going to ship in this
Yes,
update.
it took us a little bit, but we got there.
We did it. So we are going to be testing Quickplay Joust as like the default mode for new players for a little while, just to see how it goes. We may switch back to Arena. It really just is what the number shows lead to players sticking around more. I think that part of our thesis of why we wanted to test this is that like it's a little bit more of a traditional MOBA experience in a single lane, and it's 3 versus 3 instead of 5 versus 5. So it's a little bit fewer things to focus on at that point in time. Now the whole thing is sped up, so you know it should be quicker than normal Joust. It has all the other quick play rules around item building, around everybody has the relic, all of those kinds of things. And I'll just let you kind of play for a couple minutes, or else you can add gold is another way to get. Oh, we got to kill somebody.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess we could. There you go. Hey,
Yeah,
did you see the nameplate dissolve there?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was the new nameplate.
It seems like it's a local bug.
Yeah, it seems to be a local bug. Because jungle practice does not happen.
Yes, on the server side.
Server.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and then you said we need to check something
we
for
need to
when
get
I get enough gold.
Yeah.
I'm almost there.
Nice snipe.
I like how we're just like commentating my quick play joust really quick.
Yeah.
All right, items available. I see it in the bottom left.
Okay. So now go back to base. On her kills your Janus.
All right.
And then so now
that's so much prettier.
it's so much prettier. It's centered on your screen. It has visual treatment, and then the glow color around the edges is also tied to the type of item it is, I believe.
Okay.
So if it's a defensive item, I think it's a different color than a hybrid item and whatnot. And this does not show this treatment for the first purchase that you make in a match, for a quick play match, because that's a different widget.
Yeah.
But we are going to reskin that widget as well to use the same treatment. We think it just looks a lot better. There's also space on this widget to add like another kind of descriptive short single word of what the thing does.
Right.
That just didn't make this update. That'll probably be in the next update. So trying to make it just look a little bit better. And for people who are like, can we have this presentation with picking relics? That's the same widget that's used at the first part of this Quick Play. So when we update that, yes, that will also be updated for relics, probably in the next update.
Cool.
But not for this update. So you can just pick an item, whatever. And it maybe actually just like give yourself like add gold or whatever, and just like buy a bunch of items, and just like so you can kill people real quick. If that works, because people want to see the explosions again.
Yeah, even having them, it just looks pretty.
Yeah.
That's just a much nicer. I know when we did the first pass on it, we were like, yeah, we need to make this better.
Yeah, because like we didn't want to put a lot of time into it if it didn't work.
Yeah.
But people really like it. So if they like it, we're going to put a little bit more work into making it look better. Because we want to make sure people have a good first experience. Okay. Did you guys see the explosion there? Yeah.
Yeah, bring it apart just looks cool.
So it's a little shake and then explode. So the nameplate explosions will be in every mode, and you'll see those. And then eventually the kind of pick 3 UI treatment will expand to relics at the beginning of matches.
Yeah. So Quickplay Joust in this update after a couple times where we
After a couple times, yes.
And then some quality of life stuff around, the item purchase flow whenever you get enough gold for your second item. But then more updates coming for your first item and the relic screen in a future update.
Yep.
All right, I'm bringing this back.
I don't think we need to be in-game to see anything else.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so basic attack sound effects have been revised for Agni, Anhur, and Aphrodite. And Agni's basic attacks now also have a projectile sound. So we talked about before we were going through basic attack sounds and making sure they all felt right and had the right level of impact. So Agni, Anhur, and Aphrodite have a pass. Somebody in chat says, I thought Anhur sounded different. They do.
There you go, yeah.
So you noticed. So hopefully that sounds good. Kellen's been working on that. People noticed earlier the lighting is different in Conquest. This is kind of our first pass on working on some of the lighting. This isn't the full lighting package that we've been working on, but this is the first pass of some of that. We think it makes the game should just generally look better overall. So hopefully that's a notable improvement. That's only in Conquest right now. So that's the only place you'll see, and also in some of the main menu.
The main menu lobby, they're working on that presentation as well. And this is also just to make sure that we establish like a baseline before you go changing it to all the other modes.
Right.
Yeah. So we want to see kind of how people feel about this before we implement it everywhere. There are, as we said, some other things we want to do, more like area-specific lighting and whatnot. But this is just kind of the base flat pass of, is this the good new default lighting so we can start working from here? People seemed excited about that when we first showed it in chat, so hopefully everybody liked it. There are other bug fixes in here, but there is a specific one that I have been asked to call out, which is that Heartward now is properly working on aspects that some aspects have heals. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we built out tech to basically say like, hey, if you have a talent, you either gain or lose this specific tag for healing, because some abilities gain healing, some abilities lose healing. And we had that working in dev, but getting it into live had some problems. And so now in OB16, that tech will be working.
Nice.
So if you had some interaction weirdness with any of the healing items with your aspect side of things, that should be working better in the next patch.
Awesome.
Yep. We have a couple changes for Conquest that are kind of... We're not going to talk about God balance today, but I figured I would hit on the Conquest balance. So we're changing the way Totem works. It's now going to take 50% less damage from gods outside of the totem's radius, and the killer reward no longer grants +1 cooldown per kill. Instead, it will grant you a 10 cooldown buff for 60 seconds, plus immediately a 15% cooldown reduction on all abilities. Do you have...
Yeah, so so we're currently discussing things about our Conquest Pass. We're currently working on some of it. It's going to be a rollout over time as we get more and more of these pieces in. But this is like a general direction kind of shift for like what you can expect to see. So the goal is not so much of these incremental advantages that you can't really feel. Winning the totem should feel more impactful, and you should actually have to commit to fighting for the totem. If you can just poke someone who's going for the totem and you end up getting a half health advantage and they get 1 CD, that's not really felt. It doesn't feel like it was worth going for it. But if you immediately get a whole bunch of cooldown reduction, you immediately get some refunding for having spent abilities to contest it, and someone who's trying to just poke you outside of it is not able to really poke it as effectively and try and snipe it from you, that just all goes to serve the totem feeling impactful and something that you have to actually commit to fight over.
Yep.
And that's the kind of stuff we'll be looking at all the objectives for. So you'll see more of this roll out over time.
Additionally, people are saying there's a 15.
No, so it's 10 CDR for 60 seconds, and then 15 immediate refund. So if you had 10 seconds left on your one when you kill it, it immediately refunds 15% of that remaining cooldown.
Yes.
So you just get your abilities back faster the moment you take it, and you also get a 60-second buff that just means you're going to be casting more in lane.
Yep. So hopefully that sounds a little bit more balanced, people, than I maybe initially worded it. Secondly, the fire imps. A couple changes here.
This one's cool.
Yes. So the door behind the fire giant is now open until the fire giant spawns at 15 minutes as part of this change. So you'll just be able to walk through that area at first. Secondly, the loose rocks in the fire giant pit have been removed and will no longer spawn there. But we are increasing the number of fire imps that spawn from 2 to 3, and we are reducing their base health and damage. So more of something to actually fight over, and you can even like go there more easily as solo to fight over these. and get a benefit out of fighting for them.
Moving you more towards the center of the map, moving you more towards the center line of the Conquest map. If you're going to fight over this, it's a contestable thing. The mid laner might get involved. The jungler is more easy to get involved, but it's also just more accessible from the solo lane as a whole, right? Because that wall is going to be gone there at the start of the game, so you'd have to go all the way around. Means also if you want to try and like come in and just poke someone who's taking it, you have that option to play as well. We just think this is a better version for solo lane contention on that side of the map.
Yep, and I have two more, and then we can take a few questions before we run out of time here. On PTS today, when you log in, if you play in the flash test, which will be going live in about 15 minutes, I'm assuming.
Right after the show.
Right after the show. We believe we have set it properly so that you will automatically be level 20 or something and have a ton of currency to spend. So previously on our flash tests, people were like, I'm not level 5 yet, so I can't play in the actual queues. That wasn't great. Also, they didn't have any money, so they couldn't buy things to test them. Part of the reason why we do this is because we want people to test buying things and see if they can use them. So you can buy things and test them on PTS. Obviously, your purchases there won't carry over to live, but it does let you try all the new stuff on PTS more easily without the issues we were having previously.
And I believe as a part of this, in PTS only, it's not going to transfer to live, but we are giving every god, all the gods are going to be unlocked. All the gods will have 1,000 worshipers available for you. So if you go in and purchase an Ascension pass, you'll have access to all that content if you want to test that out, stuff out too.
And the last thing, today is a new Game Pass drop day.
Yeah.
So if you are a Game Pass, I don't even know what the level is. I think it's if you are a Game Pass PC or Ultimate subscriber, you will, previously for the last drop, you got the Summer Medusa. That drop is going away today. If you claimed it previously, you'll still have it as long as you remain subscribed. But starting today, you will get Phantom Seas Poseidon for free.
Nice.
So if you are a subscriber and you've got things set up and you log in, free Phantom Seas Poseidon for Game Pass members. So enjoy your free skin.
Awesome. And then I have one more thing. Just as a reminder, I know you mentioned it on Monday, but we do have Smite Prime kicking off this weekend. The August circuit is starting off. So if you want to find a team, sign up, compete for some diamond and cash prizing over the course of the next few weeks, Smite Prime is open and available for you to do so.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been cool seeing after every weekend we're getting like the highlight
The clips have been
that's
been awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Any other notes from you?
No.
Okay.
I would say the only thing is if you end up playing Giannis on PTS, there's probably gonna be a bug that you're gonna experience, which with Action Cam 1 if you play on Action Cam.
That was my bug. Don't use Action Cam 1 on Giannis.
You'll end up making portals like in Phantom Space. Just don't do that.
Yeah. I don't think too many people that play PTS probably use Action Cam 1. But don't do that if you're playing Giannis.
Yeah, but we think he's in a pretty good state. I don't know of any other major bug that he has. I'm sure someone will find some weird portal interaction. I'm sure. But we did try and do it. Actually, I will actually say this. There was one note about Giannis pointing over. Just in the process of pointing things over, the things you can cover, we found a list, a hard-coded list from Smite 1 of 101 entries of specific abilities to yay or nay, allowing them through the portal while firing.
Oh my gosh.
Just a hard-coded, maintained forever list that just existed. And so we had to make sure that we had parity with that and brought it over. But like that's the stuff that you find as you start
digging
these
through.
characters over.
Yeah.
What about Action Cam 2? Action Cam 2 is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
For some reason, only Action Cam 1. And if I play playtest most days on Action Cam 1 just as a running the test. Like somebody needs to do it. And normally fine, don't have any specific issues to it. But today was the day that we were happy that I played on Action Cam 1.
I tested on 2, so I just wouldn't run into it.
Right, yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to do the quick little recap.
Yeah, let's do it.
This
is my favorite part, by the way.
It's been 2 weeks since our last time we talked, our last major update, where we had a ton of stuff in the last patch. But in this update, we have Giannis with his Ascension Pass. We have the G.E.B 1 Traveler. We have the Plushie Ganesha Full Rainbow Traveler. We have the Plushie event. We're now giving you bonus coin levels from buying Travelers or other things in the Wandering Market. And you will get those boosts retroactively if you previously bought anything. The Ultimate Founders Edition will now grant all Ascension passes forever. We have exploding nameplates. We have one-word ability descriptions. We have the short ability descriptions. We have the item pips. We have Quickplay Joust. We have the improved UI for leveling up in Quickplay. Conquest has changes to the way the Totem and the Fire Imps work. We've fixed Heart Ward. We have new Game Pass skin, and we've added new sound effects for Agni, Anhur, and Aphrodite. And PTS now has level up and currency stuff when you just log in. It's been 2 weeks.
Yep.
So again, we are trying to move as quickly as we can to keep making the game aggressively better. Hopefully you all can feel that every time you log in and play. We've also been doing other stuff in the background that we didn't talk about today, and we have more balanced stuff to talk about on Friday. But yeah, we've definitely been working, and hopefully y'all are excited about the direction of the game.
Sweet. Well, we've got about 10 minutes left, so why don't we just cap off the show with a quick little Q&A section before people can hop in and start playing Open Beta 16 on PTS?
Yep.
There's one I see immediately, which is updated thoughts on Agility Relic. We're keeping an eye on it. I don't think we have plans to turn it on for ranked this patch. I think we're keeping it off for ranked still. We've been seeing that it generally feels a bit better on the melee warp after some of the rules changes we made. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. It doesn't seem to be out of balance with the rest of the cast. So it's a tough one, though, because it is such a fundamental game shift to how it works. We just want to make sure that all the issues are ironed out before we potentially expand it into ranked. But I think we're in a spot where, like, it's probably going to stay, but we might end up, at least the dash part of it, the actual passive bonuses of range and melee, that's something we could still tweak a little bit more. But actually having a little dash button, I think, generally feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people asking about why we're refunding the legacy passes, or the Ascension passes and legacy gems and not diamonds. Very few Ascension passes were purchased for 100% diamonds. At most, the vast majority of them were purchased for 450 diamonds and 450 legacy gems previously. You do get 450 diamonds back through playing through the Ascension pass. So we felt like, given that you're getting the 450 diamonds back as well, that it was reasonable to say, here's 900 legacy gems. Obviously, there are a lot of things that you can get with legacy gems, and that was why we came to that description. Also, you are getting for the vast majority of people are getting many more free diamonds worth of content and additional free diamonds from playing through Ascension passes than because you also, if you think about it, you're going to get at least 200 diamonds for every future Ascension pass that ever comes out for free, plus all the other ones. So
someone asked, what's the experience like digging through old Smite code? It depends on what it is. Sometimes it's just you end up coming across wild things. Like, I know I don't actually think we ran into this again, but there was for a while. Apollo's ult had or was it? I can't remember if it was Kumbhakarna or Apollo, but like they had specific rules for like roadkill logic for like someone being up in the air and getting hit by Apollo ult. Yeah. So sometimes you just run into cut features that you didn't even know existed. Other times I'll ask like a technical question about like, hey, how's the actual area of this attack calculated in code? And I'll get copy pasted the whole wall of text that describes it. And I go, okay, I'm going to parse as much as I can. Otherwise I'll throw to ChatGPT to give me a summary of what what the code's actually trying to get to, and then use that to determine the numbers that I'm going to use. Like I know Giannis's 2, it's actually described as a sine wave, and luckily the code had very clear descriptions of the amplitude, the phase, the offset, like the period. Like it had all the things I needed to actually get it again. So it just depends on what you run into. Sometimes it's a tangled mess of bad, and sometimes it's just interesting to see how certain problems were approached.
I don't have any update on what Jormungandr's first skin will be. It's probably on the calendar somewhere.
But so many
good
skins, you know.
We were having a discussion, just like randomly internally yesterday. Like, what's the best Jorm skin?
I know.
You know, is it the goose? Is it the cat? Is it the sandwich? Is it a lot of good ones?
It's a lot of good ones.
Why not create and sell cool kill animations? That's definitely an idea that we have explored. Haven't done it yet, but that doesn't mean it'll never happen.
Will there be a post for the Open Beta 16 overview? Yeah, we're working on full patch notes this week, and then the plan will be to publish those out to live on the website on Monday. On Friday's show, we'll be going over the full balance, though.
I bought Game Pass just to get the Xbox Hecate skin. When the pass expired, the skin got removed from my account. It's kind of frustrating. that's the way the Game Pass works. If your Game Pass subscription lapses, you no longer have the contents of things that you got during Game Pass. It is the way it works for Microsoft. So I apologize that hit you that way, but that is the way that the Game Pass works.
How does yours hitbox interact with action cam up and down aiming? So the up and down aiming probably wouldn't apply to him, but I know that we actually did add special tech to action cam, because really action cam is just a separate set of camera coordinates to be able to adjust that per character, which is something we didn't have before. Yorn basically required it because he's big.
It's a big snack.
When is there a new Wandering Market collection? Currently, we don't have an ETA on that. We don't have a firm plan to be able to share with you right now. As we mentioned previously, we've been working on kind of getting the coin economy feeling a little bit better. That's the first part. We have some other things that we're working on in the background. We do want to make sure that there are free rewards that you can get as part of this system. But I don't have a firm update for when we'll be rolling that out.
Someone mentioned Sigma Lash doing 200 damage to Soul Lane Totem. That's just something we need to go fix. The Totem always has issues with percent health things because in the background it just has a ridiculous amount of health. So you're just hitting the cap that it's supposed to deal. I think we fixed that in some other cases, so I'll just have to go look and make sure that Sigma's applying it, but it's a good note.
Can we get Pele Aspect 3 to count as healing ability? Yeah, we mentioned this earlier. That should be fixed for the next update, I believe.
Yeah, that should. So, yes and no. It depends on what you mean by healing ability. It will get the tag applied to it, but there are certain interactions that it'll apply, because it's something that you can just constantly refire and toggle. There are certain things that will apply to and won't apply to, but like the healing itself should trigger things like Vital Amplifier should trigger that, for example. I don't think it counts as casting technically though, because it's like not a cast ability in the same way. So that's like the caveat there.
Oh, good question. What about Ascension tokens? Are they converted to legacy gems? If so, what rate? Yes, same rate. So it's the value of, so it's 900 legacy gems for any Ascension tokens that you have in your inventory at the time that you upgrade to the Ultimate Edition, or if you buy one on a on a collection afterwards, I believe it's refunded at 900.
Someone brought up an interesting balance point of like Soul Lane is Rush, Mystical, and Sanguine. We've talked about that a little bit internally. I think the fact that they're strong is good. Them stacking maybe is the part that we'd want to hit. How we would do that is a little bit up in the air. But that is, I think I think the thing that we wouldn't want to do is nerf them both by half. So they're basically only good when bought together and then bad when you buy them separately. That's probably what we wouldn't do, but it's on our list to be looking at right now. Can Giannis ult reach Aladdin Lamp from the main map? No.
Oh, that's a good question.
I actually know the answer to this. Giannis ult has a maximum portal range of 8,000 centimeters. And the Aladdin map is something like 10 million centimeters away. It's very far away.
That's a long way.
It was far enough that some people brought up like rounding areas might be a concern. We didn't end up having that happen for us, but that was like, maybe that's actually too far out. But yeah, it shouldn't happen.
Chat's always asking about the little leaks that we accidentally show. Any update on the graphs tab we saw in the end game screen on a previous show? No updates yet. It's something that we did a little bit of work on at one point in time, but it hasn't been the priority, so we haven't looped back to it. They're not in a shippable state right now, so maybe it's something we come back to in the future, but just not the top priority at the moment.
Giannis ult does go to, what it is when it hits a wall, it will check 8,000 centimeters out from that point of the wall hit. Then to see if there's an endpoint that's valid for the portal. And then it'll travel for functionally ever for a map. It does have like a max range at which the projectile will die, but you'll never see that in a real match.
Can Yorm get into Apollo ult?
They just turn into an orb, so I would assume yes.
Sorry, I know we're not on Norm right now. I saw that question. And I was like,
I think that actually came up when we
one.
were talking about him, people letting people ride the Apollo, and it was like, well, what happens to characters like Yorm? And I think our answer was, no, we're just going to turn them into a light ball, because there's a reason why sometimes we choose like there could be really cool to see the gods models on the Apollo chariot. But then there's practical reasons why that ends up being a nightmare.
Right.
And if you want the cool thing, you sometimes have to take.
You just have to play their falling animation. It's like.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to go look at something after this.
When will we see the cross-gen skins for Ganesh, Mercury, Sun Wukong, and Huyi? I know they're all on the calendar. Soon-ish at some point.
Soon-ish, yeah. Basically, we scheduled wrong.
Yeah.
We generally try to do the cross-gen skins before we do any like classic skins for a god, and we goofed up. So those are on the calendar. It's going to be a little while. I don't know the exact patch they're supposed to come out, but they are on the list to get done.
All right. Well, we are at 2:01 p.m., so it's time for one more question.
I almost got caught off guard there.
I know, right? and I believe PTS should be opening up just about now. I think Kabir said he was going to flip the switch right at 2 p.m. Alani check, Cherry Twist Gang for me.
Cherry Twist, yeah, we've restocked. The last couple shows we did not have Alani's, but now we do
as
once
usual,
again.
I don't have anything.
Yeah. This is more of a design question, but it's an interesting one.
All right.
Gold per minute stat on the end screen. Can it be changed to not include gold spooling or starting gold? Otherwise, it doesn't really represent how well you are farming. I guess, is that the goal, or is it? I mean, it still kind of does, but it just factors in the other things.
Yeah, I mean, technically that number, like, everyone gets basically the same gold spooling, so functionally, if you have higher GPM than someone else, you farmed better than they did. You could get like an amount not from spooling and starting, but that's like it would be like an extra line of probably noise when the thing that you could look at already is who farmed the most efficiently and just see whose number is bigger.
Any chance we can get a replay system to the game so we can rewatch our matches?
So technically,
I was going to say something, but then you started to talk. Go for it.
Yeah. So technically, like, we do have like a replay. We actually use it a lot in the early stages of Smite 2 development to like actually isolate bugs. But it is a server cost to actually run it. Like, the server itself has to do extra processing for it, which can create some latency situations. It's a huge file. Like, there's logistical issues with it. As far as I know, it's still supported and works. We just haven't tested it as much because it's not something that we've planned to enable, at least in the short term. But it should technically be feasible. It's just one of those things where it's like you have to provide a lot of support.
Yeah.
The Spectator client leans, I think, a lot on that tech as well. So like it's maintained with Spectator.
Yep.
I need to find one.
Find a good one.
Let's see. There's one that someone asked earlier, but I've lost it, and I was gonna try and like. It was no, that's not what it was. I'll find one. Someone will give me one.
Yeah, there'll be a good
one
one
that I feel like I can answer.
Sod has a fun one.
Should Heartward Active be working with the Asclepius? This is actually one that popped up. Currently, you can double proc Asclepius for the 20% HP. Yes, because it's cool. And we'll see. That actually came up because the cool line. So, okay, here's me. I play roguelikes, so I like when things say this thing that isn't a thing now acts as a thing. That's just a cool keyword to me. And so Asclepius saying this is treated as a healing ability, and then it working with Heartward would like that's the cool interaction. Yeah. If it's busted, then we can fix it. But I think those kind of cool interactions are interesting. Nice. So I like them.
Sweet. Well, Kilgoon Ponpon, thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Yeah. Chat, thanks so much for hanging out. Open Beta 16, PTS should be live just about now. So if you've got Smite 2 public test on Steam. You can download the client and hop in and try out Giannis, as well as all the other cool stuff that is going to be in our next update. We'll be back on Friday with the full overview for God and item balance, as well as maybe some other stuff that wasn't on this show, but we will see you all back here at twitch.tv/MyGame at 1 p.m. on Friday for our next episode. But until then, hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Peace.
Later.